Oh, that's so f***ing cool. And that's how we completely destroy a power board on a Leader 120. Nice.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Quadcopter review for another edition of Quad Builds with Pepe Prawns. Let's jump right into our parts list for this particular build. We are going to be building a URUAV Pob150. We're going to put an HGLRC F428 with a TX20 V2 VTX on that. That's an all-in-one stack at $79. We're going to be using the Brother Tornado T1s, 4 of those at $64. A Caddx Turtle at $68. Then we're going to stick an XM Plus on that for $15. I'm going to use an 803S to start with. And all that comes out to $265.
What a bargain!
First, let's look at the centerpiece of the build, and that's the URUAV Pob150. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out our calipers, and we are going to go ahead and measure this guy. So it measures up to a 2mm side plate, 2mm top plate, and a 3mm bottom plate. Can handle from 1104 to 1806 motors. I went with the 1407 motors. So you're also going to get those M3 25mm standoffs. I didn't use the purple, I bought my own oranges. You're also going to get your standoffs for your boards, your silicone pad for your batteries if you choose to use it, and a few other little accessories. Now, I go ahead and put my motors in place first and get ready to solder those onto the ESCs, which I'm going to put right here in the center position. I chose this frame specifically so I could use the two-stack technique. So I'm going to have my ESCs and my flight controller and the Caddx Turtle in the front, and I'm going to put my VTX and my XM Plus in the back, so that way all my antenna stuff is closer to the back where it's going to be, and the turtles will be on the front stack closer to where it's going to mount. But with a setup like this, and there are many frames like this, you can also put your turtles in the back. There's plenty of room, as you can see, with the cabling to mount that in the back and put your camera in the front. But with the standoffs and stuff, that was a little bit too difficult to pull off on this particular frame. Now, the HGLRC stack, being a tried and true stack, has room for LEDs and other things, buzzers and so on, but I went without that. Let's take a look now here at the finished product. So here's the build all done. I cut out all the middle of the solderings and all these things, so there's just not really nothing exciting. If you want to get some soldering techniques, go to Mr. Bardwell's channel or something like that, because you do not want to follow my techniques. They're absolutely horrible. So once we're all said and done, I created a whole bunch of TPU parts because this frame has not been seen by many, and it is a high quality frame, so you can find all these parts on Thingiverse now. But we have a little adapter here for the Caddx Turtle that acts as a soft mount and a pull down to protect your card, so when you put your card there in the slot, it won't eject. One thing I will warn you about this frame and the Caddx Turtles, you'll note that there isn't a lot of protection for the lens, as it does stick out a little bit, but I have a tendency not to crash in a forward state, so that doesn't scare me. Now I'll put a link to all these parts down in the description below. Check for that for my Thingiverse site, where you can see all those parts and download them if you need them for this frame. So let's weigh this guy up. So dry without our battery, we're looking at 181.6 grams. And if we put this 800 3S mod battery on it, it is 262.8. Now I'm going to start with that 803S. I likely probably will end up at 854S, but this is charged and it's raining every day, and that's what we're going with right now. So this is the Caddx Turtle. Now, if you check up here in the upper right, you will see a link to my review of the Caddx Turtle, and you will see why I have this camera set to be as muddy as you see it right now. So it's very, very thick, and in a second, we're going to switch over to post cleanup. Now, you can see why I'm not, there we go. Now, there's our post, and that's how sharp and clean we can make it in post. As I've always said, you can always take pixels away, but you cannot add them back. So it's well worth having it a bit muddy to start with and do your cleanups in post. I'm still not 100% satisfied with where I'm at, but this gives you an idea of how the Turtles works. Now, as you can see, this is the situation down here in Florida. Everything is soaking wet, so I'm not going to be flying in any way aggressive. This is quite literally the maiden of this on just a starter set of PIDs, and I need to go some places with these PIDs because it's not responding the way I want it to, and I think I am underpowering with my battery. So the breakdown is great little frame. You'll see here at the end I do crash it because I try to punch out and I can't get enough thrust to get out of there. And thank God I crashed in the only dry spot on the whole field, so I didn't ruin the quad. But again, you know, if we look at being able to buy clones with cheap parts versus building your own, you're going to spend the money, but you do get to select some quality parts and make sure it's the best. Look at the links in the description below for plenty of parts lists for this, and happy flying, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by and checking out the Quadcopter review. If you want to see more interesting reviews on FPV related stuff, take a look up here in the old right corner right there. You'll find links to all the rest of my reviews. If you want to get in on some of the best giveaways on YouTube, look over here. Don't forget to subscribe right here on my chin. And if you want to check out my flying only videos separated from the review channel, check that out right here. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy flying.